In 1933, the United States once again declared bankruptcy. To make all citizens subject to the repayment of the national debt, the bankers chartered a Delaware corporation known as the Bureau of Internal Revenue. But this corporation was illegally masquerading as part of the government, placing them under constant threat of lawsuit. To escape this litigation, they moved their jurisdiction outside of the United States to Puerto Rico. This occurred in 1953 when they changed their name to the Internal Revenue Service, or IRS, incorporated as a Puerto Rican trust within the division of the Department of the Treasury of the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico. Further proof can be found within the United States Code, which lists the IRS as Trust Fund Number 62, the Puerto Rico Special Fund Internal Revenue. This was done to divert all income tax payments to the International Monetary Fund, owned by the various central banks of Europe and North America, which in turn are owned by the Crown of England.
There is a substantial, conclusive body of evidence that proves that our income tax system represents the most pernicious form of tyranny. It is the greatest hoax ever perpetrated by government against the working men and women of America.
I could eliminate all income taxes tomorrow and have more than enough money to fund the government by using some other guy's bright idea. We tax the Federal Reserve at 0.0006, doubles our money until we decide to put them out of business permanently, because we certainly should not have central banks.
The evidence proving income tax is paid to the United Kingdom is found deep within the IRS Individual Master File, which contains every transaction and financial record gathered by IRS officials throughout your lifetime. One of these codes determines what kind of tax you are paying. After looking this code up within the IRS 6209 manual, you find that they have incorrectly classified all Americans as domiciled corporations in either Guam, the Virgin Islands, or Puerto Rico. Furthermore, all taxpayers who filled out a 1040 form are subject to a tax for doing commerce with the United Kingdom under a treaty with the United States.
There is no law that requires the average American worker in the private sector to pay a direct unapportioned tax on their labor and compensation for services. There is no law.
As you follow the money trail, you find that the taxes collected on the 1040 form is then sent to the Crown of England as a tribute payment. The Crown of England is a sovereign corporation located within the 677 acres of the city, found within the heart of Greater London. This tiny strip of land contains the world's most powerful banking houses, such as the Bank of England and Lloyd's of London, owned by the House of Rothschild. It is these bankers and their counterpart, the Temple Bar attorneys, that constitute the power base known simply as the Crown. Even though the Queen of England is a member of this club, she is not its corporate head. That job was given to the Pontiff of Rome. The Pope was given control over the monarchy with the signing of the Treaty of 1213 between King John and Pope Innocent III, which forever pledged England as a vassal state of the Holy Roman Empire. In 1297, that treaty was used as a precedent to incorporate the city as an independent city-state controlled by the Vatican, which would govern England without directly relying on the monarchy. Just like how the Corporation of the United States was subject to the Crown of England, so too were the subjects of the British Empire, enslaved with debt by the financial division of the Vatican, headquartered within the City of London. Today, this small clique of bankers have full authority over the affairs of Parliament, and this has been the case since 1694, when Pope Innocent XI hired William of Orange to depose the Stuart kings and charter the Bank of England. Located within the Crown of England is the original Federal Reserve Charter, which according to the Farmer Claims legal team, allocates that 67% of the income tax collected by the IRS was to be divided to the Crown of England. Another 23% was to be paid as a dividend to the 300 shareholders of the Federal Reserve Bank, and the last 10% was to be paid to the employees of the IRS.
Washington, D.C. isn't the solution, it's the problem. Liberty is being assaulted at every turn, while Congress buries us in debt. The Founding Fathers knew this might happen. Article 5 of the Constitution gives the states the power to stop a runaway federal government, a convention of states to amend the Constitution. It's the only solution as big as the problem. It's time to stand up, speak up, and show up. Join us at conventionofstates.com.
1, and liftoff. Liftoff.
The United States has already had a busy day attacking Iraq.
We are in the early stages of the effort to disarm Iraq.
And it was shocking, and it was awesome, as predicted by the Pentagon.
Now, most of this noise at the end of this videotape sequence, the big explosions, or what I call the huge explosions, are believed to have been hits on something, like Tomahawk missiles.
Again, you're listening to Enemy Combatant Radio.
And we're taking reports in all the time from the streets.
San Francisco Indie Media's stream live from the mission.
All the demonstrators have their own radio station. They are broadcasting, and they are, we assume they are listening to us. We are monitoring their broadcast. Yes, that's for them. They really seem to like this intersection name of Bush and Powell. Okay, down for it.
Dozens of anti-war activists just sat in the middle of the intersection. Police moved in.
Thousands battled police in an effort to shut down downtown San Francisco.
Fremont, they got it all shut down. They've taken over Van Ness and looks like Oak. Yeah, they've also taken over Fell Street. They got more than what we can handle here.
They have told us they plan to be out here as long as American troops are attacking the Iraqis.
They bound themselves together with pipe and duct tape.
Many laid down.
Now, students from high schools all over Oakland walked out.
Demonstrators took to the streets today in groups large and small.
We just heard news that Baghdad is being leveled right now, and I'd like us all to just have a few moments of silence.
We refuse to carry on business as usual while American soldiers and Iraqi civilians die under the machinery of war.
We blocked the federal building and all entrances.
Live report from the federal building. You're live on the air on Enemy Combatant Radio. Federal building, can you hear me?
Some of the protesters actually regurgitated and vomited at the federal building in some sort of a display to show them that the war made them sick. So that was happening as well today.
That's incredible.
Teamsters today abandoned big rigs in the intersection of Van Ness and Fell.
Determined to stop traffic, some streets were temporarily shut down with duct tape.
25 newspaper racks that are blocking
All of San Francisco shut down. Major intersections.
turn around. They're starting to get in physical fights with the people in the cars.
What are you guys on welfare? What are you guys on welfare?
We took to the streets because we tried marching, we tried voting, we tried petitions, we tried rallies, and they fell on the deaf ears and the numb hearts in Washington. And so we did what people have done throughout history to uproot injustice. We exercised our conscience directly. We communicated our message directly.
Two words: wartime profiteering. That's what this is all about. Halliburton and Bechtel are two major multinationals that are making money out of war. Halliburton has the contract for privatizing the setting up of camps and the running of camps for the military in Kuwait, in Turkey, and in Jordan, 3 countries surrounding Iraq. They are the sole contractor right now to the U.S. military in charge of privatization of military support services. Another company that's made a lot of money out of the war is a company called Bechtel. A company like Halliburton has had a number of war contracts over the years, and currently they have the contract to rebuild Iraq, to in fact rebuild the very places that the United States bombed.